It's a challenging midnight on the Lucky Strike. After the perils of the warp, the re-attention of the demon Kestrel that has haunted you before, Damien, demons strode the walkways of this ship, and one of your own was struck down. Brother Solomon Gale has been in furious surgery where you, Morgan, had decided that removing the biological legs of your prisoner, Talos Ivo, and giving those to Brother Solomon was the right move instead of giving him an anti-grav waistcoat, one might say. There was also tension amongst the group. Judge Buchanan Rex, very eager to perhaps execute Damien Proxima for his association with this Gellerfield event, but Morgan, you managed to stop that, though you rescinded your order to leave Damien logged as the backup commander should something go wrong on this mission. And you were waiting, with Damien himself reading from the entire lexicon of the ecclesiarchy into the surgery room where Brother Solomon Gale has been under the knife, the mechadendrite, the augmetic hands of Closet, your resident Adeptus Mechanicus. It has been several hours as the surgery continues. Brother Solomon, you have been semi-anesthetized. You are still under the effect of warped dreams as this surgery is taking place. Can you describe the nightmare that begins for you during this first of 3 sections where each of your compatriots will be rolling 1 die each for Closet to see how your surgery goes?
I'm really sorry about this, Josh.
Yeah, no, it's good. This is all part and parcel. Is this, this is
a Warpfield nightmare.
A Warpfield nightmare,
Brother
and
Solomon.
It's 3 separate.
We're going to do 3 separate nightmares because we're going to do 3 separate rolls. So this is just where you start. You just came out of combat where you were battling to save Jericho, but you were also under the influence of demons.
Sure.
Before all your food turned bad inside your stomach, you vomited it up and died.
Standard Tuesday. As he's fighting, he only came to at the end of that fight. Mm-hmm. For the 90% of it, he was out and in this perfect dream. So he goes from this sort of, beautiful, he's back on Promethea, and he's doing the thing that is most important to him. He's protecting people. He's interceding. He's getting in between. He sees conflicts and he sees battles, and he runs and he stands in between corruption and heresy and evil. And this is Solomon in his element. And then as he is shunted back into reality, he sees that he's facing the wrong way. He's protecting heretics from the judge. And that, and that's when I think when Solomon saw the judge and you saw his expression go from consternation and dedication to the cause to fear. And it's the first time he's scared. He's not in control of himself. And not only that, but he's betraying the things that are most important to him. So I think the first level of that dream would be those same kind of themes of confusion. He's not in the right place. He sees people back on Promethea that are turning away from him. He's not being revered. He's not being celebrated. He's being ostracized. He's being kicked out. There's a celebration, in that dream state where you keep trying to move, you're trying to go somewhere, you're trying to go down a hallway, and it just keeps getting longer and keeps pulling away from him. So there's a festival going on in the distance, and as he walks closer and closer to it, and he's running as fast and as hard as he can, and it's getting further and further and further away.
And who was your childhood rival? The other person who, it seemed, even if only for a brief time, could be the champion of your village that was not you?
So what's another biblical guy's name?
Michael.
Jacob.
Jacob is good.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Let's go Jacob. Jacob's a good one.
You hear that the Emperor's Festival is going on, that they're deciding the champion as you race towards this town, and you hear that Jacob is winning until you hear Jacob crowned as the Emperor's champion, and you are left to farm for the rest of your days with your Grox Lurleen that you were sure would win an award just turning away from you. Even Lurleen won't be next to you inside this nightmare. Guy Bradford, can you roll me a d20 for Closet to see how he's doing on this first arc of the surgery?
Yes. It's pretty good. That's a 16.
16. Very, very nice. The surgery is ongoing. This is many hours. Closet is putting in significant work on this as this continues. You start hearing prayers somehow outside of you, echoing through this space. The voice of Damien is praying, even though you are still under. You're not conscious. It's just starting to affect and seep into your mind. What is the next stage of the nightmare as you drift deeper into yourself towards your more core fears?
I think the next stage, and again, these are all kind of like typical dream things, but I think this one is he's losing capacity, so weakness. So it's he's in a fight and he goes to swing his sword like he's done 1,000 times, and he's so reliant on his strength and his capability, and he goes to pull at his sword, and it's that dream thing where you can't even grip something. You feel like that ethereal weakness, and his sword just falls to the ground, and he's trying to pick it up and he can't, and there's a faceless combatant, an enemy that he can't judge exactly what it is. It's demonic. It's people from his town. It's a shifting sort of entity, and he's frozen and paralyzed with that horrible kind of like sleep paralysis, where you're just stuck and you're staring at this thing that keeps moving towards you, and you're trying to activate every muscle that you can, and nothing works.
Okay, that is what is happening. Damien, you are praying furiously. Can you please roll me a die for Closet?
8.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, just half of the last result.
Yeah, it's fine. That averages is still very good.
Yeah.
Pain is increasing around you as you don't consciously know, but unconsciously, the saws, the knives, the nerve stripping, it's moving deeper to your core, closer to your brain, up your body as this process continues, as this multi-layered, incredibly intense biological machination occurs from Closet, and you drift into this third and even deeper dream state, closer to the core, closer to those fears. What is it?
I think this would be all about like his like personal tenets, like his oaths. This is and more like direct sort of warp incursion. So this dream would be demons. This is those Slanesh demons, all the different forms that he's seen, the corn demons, and him surrendering to that, betraying he's because he's weak and he's scared and he's not able to fight, he's giving himself over to...
He's dancing in Slanesh's gardens.
Exactly.
He's becoming a berserker alongside bloodletters.
And his hands are covered in blood, and he sees himself in the mirror, and he has this kind of like Damien a little bit, that sharpened, beautiful Slanesh face, the slender, and he's not strong, and he's in weird...
diaphanous robes.
Yes, ornate and beautiful and opulent, and in that sort of event horizon kind of blood orgy sort of moment of this sexual, violent nightmare that he is like luxuriating in. The fear goes away, and now this is pleasure, and it is avarice, and it is want that he has not experienced.
All right. Dell, roll me a d20 for Closet, please.
I don't want to.
Let's see a real
baby.
naked Avarice in this dream. Huh?
Oh, yeah, avarice.
12.
Okay.
Damn.
Right in the middle.
We're literally splitting
Yeah.
the difference, yeah.
Good average.
What's he writing there?
I'm running the math on exactly how this affected the system based on the rolls and based on the surgery that is forthcoming. You find yourself staring in this mirror with this blood, with these robes, with yourself luxuriating in this darkness with this new face. And that's when you reach forwards and you rest your hands on either side of the mirror. And as you look, you can see that they are your hands, and you can see your reflection in the mirror, but then standing over your shoulder is this perfect figure, this beautiful aquiline face. They're stronger than the demonettes you've seen. They're more present. They're more threatening. Their hair pulled back and just a glorious top knot. Beautiful. You said you loved Mary, so very similar to the body of Mary, just in the build, in that type, in that perfect attraction. And behind you, they just say, the perfect son deserves the perfect father. You can be a champion of so much more. You can be so perfect. Just know The imperfections that may be forced upon you can be fixed. They can be. You can be glorious in the same way again. Until then, tell Damien Kestrel says hello. And you jolt awake. Morgan, you are present because you have requested this. Damien, you are also present, now allowed into the room, able to keep reading, to finish this book. It has been that long for you to be able to burn through these texts aloud as a holy challenge, a trial over these. But the one form of gifted you have always been, even historically, is in terms of willpower and delivery. If you need to read a book out loud for 4 days straight, you can do that. And in this case, you did.
Can and have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge, would you be present for this awakening?
Yes.
Judge Rex is also present. Rex 2 is there. Brother Solomon Gale, you find yourself jolting awake and seeing the world differently around you. Your body hurts and aches, but there's a twitching feeling to it and an electric feeling through your system, just something jolted and off, as though you'd stuck your finger in a light socket and you're waking up 2 minutes later. The cause of the electrical feeling is gone, but you are there. The first thing that you notice is that you are seeing the world in 2 different colors. Your left eye is seeing it as you normally would, but your right eye is grainier. The contrast is high. It is taking a moment longer to focus. It looks more like the vid screens that you have seen, and everything is in a shade of green. Everyone else, when looking at Brother Solomon, now realizes that his right eye is an augmetic replacement for a biological component. It's decently made. This is quality craftsmanship, but it does not look like a human eye. This is not a version of giving a new eye socket. This is a socketed piece that runs from the brow all the way to fill the eye socket with a solid lens at the center, a green lens that is lit almost from within. And as you look down over your body, you can see that you are covered in scars through your center of your torso. They arc around to the sides and they arc down to your legs that look very different, Brother Solomon. When you look at them, these are legs that are subtly a different height than you're used to when you look down. As you move your feet, they just feel off. They feel wrong. And they have clearly been crudely and brutally, but effectively stitched together. You can see gen-enhanced muscle. You can see that there are legs here, but they have been bulked out brutally and surgically. They're kind of Frankenstein-esque legs that have been attached to your body, and you feel a jolt run through you for a second, just up and down the nerves of your full body, from your legs to your head, before you are once again in control of yourself. The rest of you are looking at this Frankenstein-esque version of Brother Solomon. The majority of the surgery in terms of replacements and gen enhancements and muscle stitching and all of this from the waist down. But there is a fine line of nearly circuited scars up through the body. Mechanically, what this will mean is you are now at -1 dexterity. So you have -1 dex as you're there. So your dex number will go to 9 instead of 10. And it's -1 for your dexterity-based skills. But due to the very strong rolls and excellent work of your compatriots, your strength will be unaffected. Strength was done. It's just the sheer amount of nerve surgical work that is negatively affecting your dexterity at this time. Closet steps forward in front of you. And by steps, I mean just kind of floats a little bit sideways and says, "You almost died. We gave you new legs. They're as good as they could be. Tried to make them strong. You may experience nerve pain and jolts. Hopefully it will subside. Sorry."
I think that would be so jarring for him to just feel. You just see him kind of like lash back in his chair and in taking big, like deep, ragged breaths as he just is staring like straight up into the roof and blinking out of sequence, like just trying to.
Well, trying. You're only blinking one eye.
Yeah, right. Like, and he's trying.
The other eye can't close.
He's trying to for any like touches it with his hand, and then like his hand just slowly drops away from it, and he keeps that like, and it like slowly like faster and a little more intense, and he's trying to calm himself down and like,
oh yes, you have a superior eye now. It'll mean you're able to see in the dark or other conditions much more effectively.
Closet, thank you.
The flesh is weak.
Solomon, welcome back.
and he like turns and coughs up something gross, like, and just like
some of the fluid from the
Yeah.
resuscitrix from the membranes that they've been using.
Yeah, and he just like spits something out and like grimily wipes his hands and reaches out for Morgan
Morgan will take his hand instantly.
and like pulls her in, I'm assuming as close as he can, and his voice is like, normally I think his voice is kind of funny sounding, like he's like, hey, and I don't know if I can do that and be like not like, but it's raspy and it's shitty, and he's beat up, and he keeps apologizing. He keeps being like, I'm sorry, I was not ready. I failed you and I failed Damien, and I'm so sorry. And he like gets you as close as you can get to his face, and he goes, I will prepare better. I will be ready next time.
Morgan's just going to lean down against him, and it's like forehead to forehead. And this just, hearing this from Damien as well, and like, it absolutely cuts her to the core. Like, Morgan has spent a lot of her life not feeling affected by people and not feeling affected by any of these things. And I think it's like finding faith and the feelings that this man brings up in her because of that. And then for instantly him not to be upset or to like upset by his circumstance or angry at her or even at Damien as like we anticipated. It's just like you could feel wetness on your forehead because she's crying a little bit on your head. And she's just, next time you will be ready. We are glad you are here for a next time.
Next time I will be ready. And he'll just keep repeating that until he's like slowly kind of passes out.
Morgan will sit back up and look at the rest of them. Closet, thank you for your hard work.
No problem. I'll get started on that servo skull.
Thank you. All right, the two of you. Solomon has lived. I think we all deserve one more chance at this.
Chance what?
One more chance to work as a team and survive. But Judge, you know what will happen if anyone fails a test again.
He nods very slightly.
I won't fail to fix the servo skull.
Closet, thank you. Yes, you've been doing wonderfully.
Closet, you've been here the whole time.
Where is that Talos Ivo? He must not be too happy with losing legs.
He's in the corner recovering. And he points over, and you can see Talos Ivo's hands are chained up to the wall. He is just a legless torso with the same circuits of scars through his chest and body. He has like basically a metal groin replacement structure, but no legs. His arms are extended above him. He has extendable robotic elbows. If you remember, that was his alteration. So his arms are extra extended over him, and he is passed out. He has one augmetic eye, and he is there with just missing the lower half of a person unconscious.
I'm going to go over there and just like inspect him. Just give a once over, just see what happened. And I'm just actually, from having been under the knife myself a few times, it's just interesting to see it done now to a mechanicus who I'm not very familiar with, and seeing how this works when grafting it onto a human as like Solomon. So he's not trying to be weird. Like he's not like poking.
No. This was a circumstance. And if you remember, Talos Ivo was in the majority, human norm. Like, he had replaced his elbows so his arms could be extended, and he had an augmetic eye, but the rest of him was human biological, which is very odd for a mechanicus to begin with, who isn't ultra junior. Generally speaking, the flesh is weak, is a belief of that organization. They're like, the faster you can get rid of flesh to replace it with machine, the better. But he has not done that. However, he now just has less flesh.
Morgan's going to turn and look at Damien. I was concerned when Solomon woke up how he would feel. But he seems that he feels he has failed his test also with that warp incursion. I ask that you look out for one another, protect him.
I will.
That will be part of your penance for this happening.
As you wish.
It is what I wish. All right. And then Morgan's just going to get up and leave.
We're going to need like a week to make Solomon better. Everyone will have time to prepare.
Understood. I will call everyone for a meeting when I'm ready. She'll just leave and go back to
off you
quarters.
go. And this is the circumstance under which you find yourselves waiting for clearer orders and taking time for Solomon to recover. Morgan, when are you calling this meeting for everyone? How much time does it take for you to prepare?
Oh, man.
You've had 4 days in the warp. You're out of the warp now, so you can all actually sleep and
that's
recover
nice.
without requiring any like additional nightmare watch. You fully recharge all of your abilities, and you are in an asteroid field in an otherwise dead system, just floating at the edge of it. The one person who's not terribly available, I will say on an ongoing basis, is Avarice. Avarice is currently working with your servitorized astropath to pull as much information as possible. He doesn't know what the next step in your plan is, but once he gets the right setup or the right information, then the Valentine half of his brain will inform you all what the next mission is.
Great. Yeah. I think Morgan would, if possible, ask the ship, Avarice, whoever it is, but if she would be able to get a message out to Valentine or be able to get in contact with him in some level.
Are you interested in a call or sending a message?
I think she's most interested in a call, but if I have to send a message to get that to come back, she would do that.
I think Avarice could answer that question the same way that you can kind of bother someone when they're watching the news and just be like, hey, you want to speak with Valentine? Is this entirely necessary?
It will affect this mission. Yes.
All right. Then I will reach out to him, and I'm sure he will reach back to you. It should be about a day.
Thank you. Please continue your work.
I will do so. You have that in place. And your servo skull is returned to you.
Ooh.
Give him back.
Romeo.
What's fucked up about it? Does it have a big human eyeball?
It has a third leg. No. I had to repair some of the nerves, but I had leftovers, so an easy fix.
Thank you, Closet. And Morgan's going to take the servo skull. Yeah. Morgan's going to have... It's just a tough time with all of this because obviously everything is rough on the whole ship and just between everyone interpersonally. And our ray of sunshine is mostly unconscious, so there's no reprieve from the gloom. So I think while waiting for the call from Valentine, one of the things Morgan will do is one of the nights after they're out of the warp.
Yeah, I was going to say, to give you like a clear idea of perspective, it's like you came out of the warp. In this first day, they are just testing the nerves inside Solomon. So he's still up and about. He's conscious. It's just Closet has a lot of work to do to make sure that all the nerve connections are in place to kind of rewire him biologically, if not mechanically, as is required. Then you just have a number of days that are coming up. This would have all been laid out and report to you. So like it's fine and it's not secret. So I think it would be pretty clear. Solomon needs 5 or 6 days to just move around in this body to get used to moving in this body, which is like it functions. But if there's a height difference, that's a big difference for him in terms of training. His gait will be different. There are things like that that he just has to figure out, where after that, is he going to be 100% fully back to where he was? Probably not. It might take a little longer, but he'd be combat effective. It wouldn't limit any of his abilities.
Yeah.
So day one, he is still around. He's just mainly with Closet unless you pull him out. You'll be able to talk to Valentine on day 2.
Great. So I think the first day, Morgan won't be able to sleep. She's in her captain's quarters and can't get restful, and will go into the docking bay and into the L1 ship and take her servo skull with her and sit in the ship and sleep sitting on the floor in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just hang out sitting there with her servo skull that is now operational again. And, making sure that there's no one around watching, like we're to double check all the comms and all of that stuff, and then lock up L1, the ship. So she's just sitting in the ship by herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she has the servo skull just bopping there, and she'll start talking to him. Romeo, after all this time, do you think I'm a bad person?
He's just floating around. You're just hearing the sound of his engine.
Of course, but you have a different opinion of me than everyone else. Is it wrong to admit that I'm not sure I can do this? But it's not me that I need to have faith in. It's the mission in Valentine. So many broken tools, and I am just one more of them. But perhaps something can be put back together, like Solomon. I wish I knew more about how to fight the warp and how to deal with this heretic and psyker and the judge. It's just... things were simpler before, All right, maybe I can sleep now if you keep watch. Morgan is just going to curl up on the floor, on the metal floor of the ship, and go to sleep.
With the white noise of the tiny anti-gravity generator inside Romeo floating alongside you. And the next day, there is a knock on the back of L1.
She bolt awake. Who is it?
It is Avarice. There is a certain someone for you on the psycho.
Yes, right. Thank you. And Morgan will, very quickly.
And you make your way to Ast 2, the servitorized astropath. It is strapped into the wall. It has no legs, no arms. It's a human torso projecting upwards out of this with a number of mechanical parts holding it in place, a rod supporting it, and a human head that has been, again, attached to the wall and backwards. It can print text directly out of its chest that you can see from any messages. It has no eyes and a small grill for a mouth. The eyes have just been sunken in and sewed shut.
Great. And whatever.
And you can sit down facing it.
Oh, great. Perfect. Whatever room this is in, can we make sure it's locked up? No one else is going to get in here.
It's a very small astropath room. It is got a bunch of psych shielding and other things. So once you're in there, again, you have the captain's keys to this whole thing. So remotely, you can just be like, the door's closed, no one can open it.
Perfect. I just want to make sure that that's clear. If anyone tries any shenanigans, these doors are locked. No one can be in here.
No one's shenaniging.
Perfect.
Solomon walks in. He stumbles in. What's in this room?
See?
Oh, gross. The hell is that?
Have you been sleeping on a ship?
It canonically can't do this. None of this happens.
Yeah.
Everyone's a child, but none of this happens. You are in this room. No shenanigans.
Great. And then Morgan will, I'm not sure how she understands the astropathy stuff works exactly. I'm as far as how literal or specific it is going across all the distance.
You are not entirely sure. You've read a bunch of texts, but they all conflict, whether or not it's specific messages or voices. It sounds like the skill of the astropath is also a part of it. And that's when you hear a voice come through this astropath saying, Morgan.
Yeah. And because Morgan is, even though she's really wants to talk to him, it's like she's so paranoid that she's going to say out of the gate, Inquisitor Valentine, no matter what you do, you will not catch me, so do not try. And it's like a coded message of can we talk? Is this safe? It's like her glossy to him.
You need to surrender, Morgan, you need to turn yourself into the Inquisition. There is only one way this ends, and you know it. And this is the point where, in that way where they'll show two people speaking a foreign language in a movie with the subtitles, and then it'll blur into English. This is your conversation blurring into, it's all barbed threats that are fully appropriate and clear, but we're blurring into the thieves' cant, like Inquisition
Yes.
talk, so you can say what you're actually intending. But we know outside of this that it's clearly these two threatening each other in a surrender, you're a criminal, you'll never catch me kind of conversation.
100%. That's exactly what I wanted. So Morgan will say, we secured the first asset, but the team... There was a warp incursion on our way to the second one. Damien spoke to the demon that is chasing him. The ship exploded with warp fire. Solomon almost died. The judge wants to kill Damien. Damien wishes to kill himself.
Oh, that sounds like an interesting challenge for the Emperor. This is one of those situations where you're going to have to inspire them. I'm glad you've got the asset. Keep him around. He's going to be required moving forward. Damien cannot be allowed to kill himself or be executed. You need a psyker for one of your upcoming tasks if, and again, big if, circumstances align to allow it to happen. He's critical. The judge should ultimately follow orders. He believes in the Imperium. You are an authority higher than him. He doesn't have to like it. He has to do it. And in a necessary, sometimes kind of way, if you could remember that we do have his entire family in the Inquisition's purview. I prefer the carrot to the stick, and I know you do as well, but it's a rather large stick the Emperor decided to give us in this case. If he cares about his grandchildren, I believe he cares about the one named Vivian, something like that. I have that in my files. Apparently she looks somewhat like her great, I don't know how many great it is, grandmothers, the one that he fell in love with that caused this entire, shall we say, secret circumstance to occur. So there's leverage there. Try to keep it chipper. I'd hate if he had too dark a feeling.
No, I understand. Long term, my concern is obviously no one knows that I am under special condition.
Yes, well, you can just not tell them.
Correct. That's what I've been doing.
Excellent.
Damien especially, he is very unhappy that I am here rather than you having gotten him out of jail. Is there anything specifically that I could tell him that you told him under privacy that might convince him that I am actually talking to you?
I mean, possibly. Do you just want to bring him into this room?
That's an option. Yes.
Well, I'm here.
And then she's going to come over. What is this room?
This is the astropath's quarters. So it's a separate room unto itself. Very, very small, as you can imagine, because it's this floating guy and people just pull the tape off. It's been writing down what he's been saying underneath until you deactivate it at the start of this conversation.
Perfect. Damien, come to the astropath's quarters right away.
And in very short amount of time, you hear Damien's knocking.
And she will unlock it and then gesture him to come in and then lock it. Inquisitor Valentine, Damien is here with me.
Excellent. Damien, I understand that there are questions about whether or not my authority has been passed on to this one. What can I do to assuage you?
Now, we are entering kind of a unique situation where have you two broken from your glossia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I don't know that Damien knows
So you
how
can
to
hear
speak
it,
that
right?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
No, Valentine has broken from it for this conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, no. What I would think is Valentine would have taught this to you as an inquisitorial operative.
Okay.
So that's valuable to him. So he could stay undercover because he wouldn't risk breaking cover for this. But you can actually have this conversation. So you just enter and you hear like, Damien, you arch heretic, you've escaped an inquisitorial prison and will be burned to death. Surrender in the name of the Ministorum. Which to you translates to like, hello, Damien, nice to see you. Clearly, it's a glossy conversation.
Okay. I'm just going to note that I know that language then.
Yeah, please do, because I
Nice.
think that's one Solomon wouldn't and the judge wouldn't, but you were specifically trained to be an operative for Valentine, so that would check out.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
And just a moment of like, he's been, I think, in a little bit of a fugue state. He threw himself into penance and repentance and doing what he was told. Because I think that's probably a more like instinctual or like reflexive safe place kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming up in the ecclesiarchy is like an authority figure has told me to do something, and I will throw myself into doing it.
Yeah, yeah, and like
even
hard
questioning
work is service to the emperor.
Yeah.
Service to whoever is in charge is service to the emperor. Like it is a holy right in that they also hit you with sticks when you don't do it when you're young kind of way. So it's a bit compulsive at this point.
Yeah. But you just his eyes flutter and like a little bit more like kind of like life comes in when he like stands tall again. He's like, Valentine.
Yes.
And he realizes what's happening. You know, you've called him in and like, he questioned you about the veracity of all of your claims and realizes. So he just needs a second to think like, you visited me a number of times during my incarceration. Name one thing you did for me.
Well, I mean, I gave you a tremendous gift of psychers alongside you to train you, but the art supplies on my second visit so that you could draw the various cathedrals that you'd been inside of.
That is you. What is going on?
Well, you're on a mission, a highly important mission, one might say one of the most critical missions, which is why there is such secrecy surrounding it. I cannot speak it aloud. Clearly, we're discussing things in code right now. Rabute Gilliman, the Imperial Regent, has given me a task. You are key and central to this task, along with this team and your interrogator currently. I need it carried out. This is something that, should we fail, could doom the Imperium, for if we succeed, we could change it.
I understand. And he'll look at Morgan when he says this, but it's addressing Valentine. He's addressing you both. I will not fail.
Excellent. I'd like to be entirely clear that having you as part of this mission will be of critical importance at a critical time. You're going to be able to do something that no one else on this team is able to do. If they lose you, they'll have to find another psycho with, shall we say, the flexibility of skills that you have to move everything forward. And I don't know who that would be. So this is very important. No moodiness. We're not playing this game. No more childishness. It's time for you to be a professional.
And that brings the more of the impetuous kind of, just like again, like the shoulders drop and the eyes were like, oh, just Dad.
But I'd like to be clear, this is your chance to prove that you are an asset to the Imperium and you have the makings of an Imperial hero. Using the darkness to fight the darkness is the exact job of the Inquisition. If you're capable of it, you do have a future that is possible.
I remember you telling me that. Using the darkness to fight the darkness. I
received a report that said on your way off planet, where you were on Arcturus 4, you used your powers to ignite an entire field and destroy improvised aircraft being used by a Cornate Brotherhood. Is that true?
Yes.
Then excellent. You've already done it. I don't know why you're beating yourself up so much. You managed to, as far as I can tell from the notes here and from notes from the Administratum and the Departmentum Unitorum referring to this world, prevent a massive attack that could have wiped out the PDF and then the remainder of an Imperial
Kestrel,
society.
sir. He found me. Before I could find him, I wasn't ready. And, I was just his tool, again, for chaos.
Well, did you do something he asked you to do?
No, I fought as hard as I could, and it wasn't enough.
Well, are you currently possessed?
No.
Is anyone dead?
No.
So Kestrel, in showing up, surely must have been defeated, other than to create the shadow of doubt, perhaps on you, perhaps on the others. I can't speak about your mission, because even in this coded format, getting into any specifics would, shall we say, put the Imperial Regent's goals at tremendous risk. So if Kestrel is showing up to stop you, that's a sign of success rather than failure. You are not possessed. The mission has not failed. Do not let demons create doubt where there is none. That's what I always say. You know, I'm a pretty chipper fellow, and perhaps you should try that on for size yourself. You tend to be somewhat brooding, and as we talked about, if you brood, you create negative emotions, which feeds demons and thus empowers the warp. If you smile and enjoy yourself as much as is possible and celebrate the Emperor's challenges, then all of your emotional power goes to the Emperor.
And Morgan, you just watch Damien sneer. Just, yes, Valentine.
I don't hear you smiling.
And just sneering harder. Just, yes, Valentine.
That's better.
Thank you very much for this, Inquisitor.
No problem. Is there anyone else you need me to speak to? I'll basically have to threaten them, but they could try it on for size.
I think we are good here. Thank you.
Excellent. Do you have any other questions or anything else more urgent? Actually, Damien, could you excuse us for a moment?
Yes.
There's a totally still body just speaking out the mouth in front of you.
Yes. One last question.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
And I need to hear it. Can I trust Morgan?
Of course. If I sent someone I didn't trust, that would mean that I was sending someone into a situation where they would fail the Imperial Regent. Morgan is an extension of my will. You will become an extension of hers. Perhaps in time, others will become an extension of yours. We have to be a straight line, speaking with the Emperor's voice, moving forwards with the Emperor's goals. I cannot promise you that you will live forever. No one does. I cannot promise you that you will not be sacrificed to the Inquisition, because you will be sacrificed to protect him on the throne. That is our purpose. We can do that. What I can promise you is the thing I promise all of my agents. You will not be a coin spent cheaply.
All right.
Follow Morgan as though she has my own voice, and I speak for the throne.
And again, he's looking at Morgan again, and he'll just say, I will.
Morgan gives a nod to Damien without saying anything out loud.
And he'll leave.
And I think Valentine, just as you exit, somehow knowing the timing on you hitting the door as though he was in the room, says, Morgan has received a miraculous healing. Untouched, no one else present. Healed of damage done by heretics. Miraculously overnight. She is not no one.
No, I suppose not. And then he'll just fix a, maliciously compliant grin to his face and walk out the door.
Oh, Morgan can't help but smile at that. That's great. That's lovely.
That's fun.
And the hatch closes behind him. Valentine says, obviously you've been unsure. You've been rocked by these events. Kestrel didn't make it onto the ship. I'm hoping you've let Talos Ivo increase your Geller field efficiency.
Once the warp incursion happened, he had to fix it.
Excellent. Just try to keep him as happy as possible. He can maintain your Geller field on an ongoing basis. I trust him with that. He has no actual warp inclinations. He just has a skill set that the Mechanicus finds, shall we say, problematic.
I see. Well, I will endeavor to cheer him up again. We had to give his legs to Solomon to make him not die.
Oh! Well, it seems like you've improvised some interesting solutions to the Emperor's challenges, and I'm sure removing his legs will be a great boon to you somehow. Don't know how that'll be, but I'm sure it will be.
I will look for the positive things that the Emperor is giving us. It is difficult, but thank you for your guidance.
You're very welcome. Now, I do want to warn you, for future calls, if they're just for a pep talk, there is a great cost attached to these, both in the risk of our general conversation, but also in terms of the life of the astropath I'm currently speaking to you through, because I need to deny that this ever happened, so I'm going to be shooting them in the head once we're done here. Every one of these calls costs an astropath's life.
Inquisitor, I understand. It's very helpful because prior to calling you, I thought I might kill Damien. So it helped quite a good deal to the mission.
Oh, I believe it. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't want you thinking that these were somewhat easy to organize.
No, I understand.
If you're going to eliminate Damien, you need to uncover a psyker of equivalent power.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, you're doing good work. You're doing good work for the Emperor. You're doing good work for the Regent. And I'm going to go shoot this psyker in the head. I think they're starting to catch on. No, you're fine. Don't worry about this. I'm just having a conversation. Oh, no. Why would I ever threaten you? That's never something I would do. I'm just checking my gun. It's just, I need to make sure that it's oiled. No, it won't jam. Morgan, ta-ta. And you hear a bang, and then the servitor goes quiet.
A hang-up sound.
Dial tone, yeah. perfect. Morgan is going to just take a minute sitting there and is looking through this printout that she's going to keep and then put into the full file that she's been working on and then destroy the hard copy of.
All righty. And you do that.
Is the astropath on our end just like sweating?
I mean, yes, but that's due to a lot of missing internal organs.
Sure, okay.
So, Morgan, you take a copy of this conversation. You have it with your file. You destroy the original so that it's all gotten rid of. You have buoyed Damien.
Mm-hmm.
You know Solomon needs time to recover. The judge is someone that you've now been reminded you have leverage over, but that can be used in many different ways, not necessarily the carrot or the stick. There's an option of a carrot.
Yeah. And I think it's good to hear that cold logic from Valentine because she's been so focused on the carrot of like, I want these people to personally like me and each other. That has been her goal. That realizing, okay, it isn't just get them to like me or nothing. It's get them to like me or otherwise find some way to force them to do their work. And she's like, I'm going to continue down the path, hopefully with Damien not looking at her like she's some kind of criminal, that might put some oil in these gears. But then long term, yes, if she needs to bring the hammer down on someone, she can wreck Rex 2.0 or make Rex 2.0 only listen to her. Mm-hmm. She can really pull the hammer down with the judge if she wants to threaten his family. She's very able to do, but it's like, it's almost like having a weapons case in an imaginary weapons case in the back of her desk that it's like, here's all of the hammers that I could pull out if I need to do that. But she would very much prefer not to. Yeah. Because she would rather these boys be hammers to kill bad things, evil things outside of this group.
So you have newly buoyed confidence of yourself, new tools in your imaginary personal weapon shelf in the same way that you added a display shelf to the new chapel built on board this ship. Mm-hmm. And the only sobering thought is your confidence cost the life of a trained astropath. You need to make it worth it.
This episode of Agents of the Inquisition features the voices of players Del Borovic, Guy Bradford, Josh Halbert, and Tyler Hewitt, alongside our Dungeon Master Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Agents of the Inquisition's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC.com. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. Though the team is working under special condition, this podcast isn't. So tell your friends about Agents of the Inquisition and join us next episode. Rabute Gilliman himself commands it.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: George Dolby, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Alarain Okapi, Madre de Gatos, Garbo Ape, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dia Delos Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Funky Head, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lale, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Your Homeboy Bones, Ellis Hatch, Odigenous, Kai Koa, Squire Solaire, Sandy Sassy Pants, Amira Lockhart, James Molina, Nick Hemsing, Alex LaFountain, Mickey Blake, Seth Cambron, Corpse Knight Silver, Adamir 101, The Dankler, Anticore 7, Lady Destiny Stormbringer, Randall Eberly, the Yes But of improvisational comedy, Lord Taser, Funky Stevie, J. Robert the Mad Fox, Dagger Rain, Derek Wintenberg, Optimus Omega, Laura, the Workaholic Mr. V, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.